Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Persona Q, and in the previous episode we watched the credits roll, but there is still more to do, and this is an extremely long game. Once you have completed the game and reload your save, Liz will have a new quest for us, which we will not be completing. It's actually the next quest that we want to get, and she's telling us it's one of the most difficult ones I have. Give it to me! No. I had faith that you would be enthusiastic. Please take caution when carrying out this request. She will add the request automatically, defeat the Reaper, which we've already sort of done. Once completing that quest, you'll get the Omnipotent Orb, which if you remember from Persona 3, blocks everything in the game. Now, because the Reaper is so easy to beat, we won't be really showing that. Instead, we will enter the nurse's office again.
Welcome to Elizabeth's room. The time has finally come. Thanks to your efforts, my research can reach its finale. I've put in a request that will allow you to see the culmination of my efforts with your own eyes. Please accept it without delay. Are you sure you would like to accept this quest? I've locked myself up in this room to perform my research, sometimes neglecting to sleep or eat. But at last, it's about to bear fruit. I've prepared a place to present those results. May I see your map for a moment? Thank you. You may have it back now. I've used the usual fast disappearing ink for it. Please mark it down for yourself later. I wish to perform the final bout with you there. Just one more slight push so that the ripened fruit falls. That is all that is required. I will battle you with all my might this time. Do not come unless you are fully prepared. Well then, I will be waiting for you.
So, the finale is about to begin. So, we need to get prepared a little bit. Luckily, I've done this off screen. We grinded up a little bit more. We got everyone around level 73 now, and the Persona 4 protagonist is level 81. I did this because this boss fight, not impossible, but we still want the best chances of winning. Most Personas are the same, except for Mahakala and Yoshitsune, who has, well, different moves. Dance Macabre, Power Charge, Rogue Gemini, Raging Fists, and God's Cut. May not be the best moveset for Mahakala, but it's gonna help us get by, basically. As far as Aigis goes, we got pretty much everything on Yoshitsune. Yoshitsune? I think that's how you say it. He's got Rogue Gemini, Shura Tensei, Power Charge, all that jazz. Naoto, I believe it's still the same. Yeah, Naoto really didn't get too much. Honestly, we just need her from Masuku Kaja, and a bonus SP we get from Loki is pretty nice, too. The only change we've made since battling the final boss is we have Zagoga Gogen. I think that's how you want to say that. I don't really need him. I just thought he'd be cool to use in this battle. Make sure you have a ton of healing items, and mostly Mutant gems. You're really gonna need some of these. Just a heads up. As far as items and weaponry goes, we have every single person's ultimate armor and ultimate weapons. You get this by sacrificing specific enemies and certain materials. If you'd want a more detailed guide on that, there's plenty of them out there, and the ultimate armors can be gotten elsewhere. Also, we're going to be doing this boss on the hardest difficulty available to us. We're not going to be doing risky mode because I unfortunately do not have access to that. Now that's been taken care of, let's go into the clock tower and get this show on the road. This is one of two optional boss fights that Persona Q has to offer, and this one is one of the easier of the two, in most people's eyes, myself included. So let's head up to the 8th floor and get started. Elizabeth's room is, well, pretty easy to figure out. Same shape as all the other Persona check rooms, so chances are you should be able to find it rather easily. And yes, I know the Reaper is close by, but honestly, I'm not too scared of that.
This is it. The room where Elizabeth is waiting. Hold on a sec. Let me check some... What the... Is this for real? What should we do? She's too strong. We should head back and think of another plan.
Don't worry, Rise-chan. I feel like there's nothing we can't overcome. A lot has happened since we were trapped in this world, but we made it this far by working together. That's why I'm sure we'll be fine.
Fuku-chan, have you changed a bit?
Huh? Do you think so? Really? But I don't feel any different. Still, if I really had matured a little, I couldn't be happier.
All right, let's do our best and back up the team.
We'll do our best.
Change of plans. We're gonna beat the crap out of Elizabeth. End of story.
That's not a nice way of putting it. But you're right. Let's give this everything we have. Shall we go inside then?
I've been waiting for you. I will now show you the culmination of my research.
Zeus, I have been called from beyond. They who live to the fullest and win their glory are granted divine favor. They who traverse untrod lands with blistered feet are the blessed ones. Thou art a coward, one who lives not for thyself, but as a lone twig in a fox's. Lowly sheep, naught but a bawling herd. There is no reward in bindings that serve only to restrict the will. What worth is there in a life led bleeding to others, yoking them to thy burden as a farmer's ass? Regain thyself, spoiled whelps. Stand with thine own feet, grasp with thine own hands. Show to me thy spirit. Live thine own life. Close not thine eyes, cover not thine ears. Witness, know, and stand. On thine own legs, stand firmly on the earth.
Go, everyone!
And so we have our optional boss fight with Zeus the God, who is, well, overtaken Elizabeth's body and is now controlling her, which is kind of unfortunate, but hey, it makes for an awesome boss fight. This boss fight is going to start off very slow, so this is the perfect chance to get your buffs and debuffs respectively. It's going to always start out with Rampage. It is very devastating. Hopefully, though, you will have enough HP to survive it. Ultimate Armor helps out a lot with that. We're going to use Power Charge, Heat Riser, Debilitate, and Masuku Kaja on this turn just to make sure that Zeus cannot hit us with anything. Yeah. Zeus does have a pattern. He essentially has either 6 or 7 moves. I've never seen the 7th move, but I hear he actually has one. And he will constantly repeat that function. He will just go in a list of moves that he can use per turn. Now, this boss fight is divided into 2 sections. The first section is the easiest. It's not going to do a whole lot, and thanks to Runic Shield and Aegis Shield, we're not going to be getting hit with those electric attacks. Hopefully not. He also does have access to Almighty skills, tons of status ailments, and just a ton of really nasty attacks that we just hope we never see. Now, okay, great. Heroic Gemini proc, not bad, not bad. The third turn, he did use the Zeodyne attack. Now, I think on the 4th turn, he is going to use a Maziodyne or a Megidolon. So just prep yourself from that. Alternatively, you could just get Elec Absorb onto all 5 of your party members are really having troubles with this. But honestly, my setup is more than enough to take this guy down, and you should have no trouble at all.
Dost thou understand it not? What is to be gained from these tepid brotherhoods? They are not a food, but a millstone.
We'll see about that, Zeus, whatever on earth he is talking about. Elizabeth is already less than half HP, so far we're doing alright, but once you get her down to 1 HP is when this boss fight's gonna get a little bit on the crazy side, so we're gonna heal up and make sure everything's okay. Mahakala and Yoshitsune are very, very good personas to have in this battle. Also, just make sure you use some skill cards, have a ton of healing items, you should be fine. The Megidolon is coming out. It's gonna miss every single person thanks to our Sukukaja. Nice. So let's heal up. The Megidolon is very frightening because it can knock down your party members, so you either have to make sure that you can outspeed the boss, or that he'll never actually hit you. Yeah. Let's keep Masukukaja going, and alright. You cannot exceed 3 buffs and 3 debuffs on the opponent, so make sure that you have that. Power Charge takes up a slot. Shura Tensei does not, however, and alright so far. Everything is going fine. I guess we'll just... Yeah, wait. I already had a Power Charge. Great, okay. We'll just use another House of Tobi attack, and... I guess we can just use an item. Soma Team won't be bad to give our Persona 3 protagonist, and just keep stacking debilitates. Next up is the Elec Corrosion, which is slightly scary, but it's not the end of the world. This turn should be the turn that we actually knock out the boss, and he goes into phase 2, so honestly he's not going to get a chance to use that Elect Corrosion, if all goes according to plan. Alright, she's hunched over, which is a good sign. Heat Riser coming out. And we're going to use a Soma Tear to revive a little bit of SP to our Persona 4 protagonist, not a Persona 3 protagonist. Hasatobi coming through, doing a lot of damage. Oh my gosh.
I begin to see. Thy power may stem not from tepid brotherhoods. Whether they could be called foes is yet to be tested. Show.
Once Zeus has said that line of dialogue, you know you're doing well. Elizabeth is almost out of HP and is ready to be destroyed. We're going to power charge up this turn. And is it at 1 HP or is it lower? I'm not too sure. I think it actually has priority here, and it's going to cast a healing skill no matter what we do. No, I guess we'll go before it, because we're boosted, so that's cool. The power charge boost state is very important, because Akihiko and Aigas do not have a ton of SP to burn, and yes, here it comes. The Diaharon, healing the boss 100%. Once that happens, this boss gets insane. He is going to use 2 skills per turn instead of 1, and now is when the boss actually poses a little bit of a challenge. So, watch out for that. The same strategy pretty much stays the same. We could use Shura Tensei here, but that'd be way too easy. So we're going to use Danse Macabre and Hasatobi and just keep going from there. I'm going to power charge on our Persona 4 protagonist just to get a little bit extra damage. Doesn't honestly hurt. Soma Tear, let's use that on our Persona 3 protagonist. And honestly, I'm going to save my SP skills for a little bit. No, not the Silent Song. Ugh. Easily the most annoying thing is when Zeus will go into his other form, his normal form, which is not his warrior or robot form, and he will use that skill. It's going to bind our magic and our attacks for their Persona 4 protagonist, which is kind of a bummer. Luckily, Aigas has a way to get out of bindings without using a Mutindi gem, which is by going into Argia mode, which can be risky, but can also pay off, well, a lot. So, you can do a pretty respectable damage on this turn. We did not get a Heroic Gemini, and our Heat Riser will go down. So now our top priority is we need to get Akihiko to still do consistent damage, while we have to spend some of our resources here to get off this mute, our bindings from our other characters. I believe on this next turn, he's going to use a Maziodyne and a Megidolon. So we need to be careful of that. And okay, he also does have access to Mind Charge now, which is very scary. If he gets an Elect Corrosion attack off, I've never even seen that attack actually, but hey, it missed, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, yeah, here comes the Maziodyne. Oh, bummer. No big deal though. But if he does get the Mind Charge, Elect Corrosion, and the Maziodyne off, it could be a bad idea if that happens. Luckily, we have the Aigas Shield and the Runic Shield so we should be fine. Aigis is weak to electricity. Let's see, we have no buffs on you, Narukami. We need to fix that eventually. It's not our highest priority. The boss is at half HP, so making sure my buffs are alright. You do not want to make a mistake in this battle, because it looks pretty easy, but no, you can make a mistake. We got 2 charges on Aigis. Okay. We can afford to use Heat Riser this turn. Hasatobe, and pretty much our back row is not going to really do this much at this point. We can use Healing Tide. I don't feel like that'd be a bad idea. Healing Tide is fantastic if you are using the Shura Tensei tactic. I think it's the first time we've seen Juno. It's pretty cool, I guess. Next up is Tarukaja, and I believe he's then going to use a Power Charge, which is sort of a... yeah, there it is. His next Rampage and Charge Shot combo can do a lot of damage, so we gotta watch out for that. We're gonna keep debuffing Zeus. Luckily, he does not have Dikaja or Dikunda, so, hey, it's kind of a free battle if you think about it like that. Danse Macabre is gonna do so much damage. I think we got all 8 hits there. Could be wrong. Honestly, can't count right now because this is just too intense of a battle. Masuku Kaja getting extended, which is really nice. Hasatobi, hopefully we can get another Heroic Gemini. Not doing nearly as much as Danse Macabre, but hey, that's fine. And alright, she's hunched over, which is a good sign. Seems like we're doing enough damage. It's just a matter now if we can finish her off. Oh, man. This is even easier with Shura Tensei, though. Honestly, just get these 2 personas. Make sure you have enough SP, and you should be fine. Guess we'll just auto-attack at this point. I mean, there isn't really much to do. It is going to try and use, I think... yeah, on its 3rd turn, it does use the magic binds, which is an issue. So we gotta look out for that. Next turn, the Rampage. Ooh, the Power Charge did carry over, and here comes the Charge Shot. Luckily, we dodged that. Okay, great, great, great. Debilitate will continue. And yeah, sweet. Now I think Juno will heal us up, and we should be fine to finish off the boss next turn. If he does get Strength Bind onto Aigis or Akihiko, that could be an issue, and there's Juno's heal. Nice. Okay. Not a huge turn for us, but it's fine, it's fine. We can get the Danse Macabre off. And I guess we can use that attack, why not? And Hasatobe. Unfortunately, if he does get the Muscle Bind, that could be an issue. Honestly, the only difficult thing about this boss is this Silent Song Muscle Down combo. Luckily, almost everybody dodged the Silent Song, but can we be so lucky to dodge Muscle Down? No, we cannot, actually. That is kind of a bummer. Gonna use Satan's Black Viper. Do 420 damage. Why not? What? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Get the Ryuzan in there. Not really gonna do too much, but hey, we got the boost state from that, so that's kind of good, I guess. We're gonna have to go in Origia mode with Aigis to get rid of that Muscle Down. That's really just gonna be the best way to finish this fight off. We're running a little bit low on these gems here. We only have 1 gem left, so honestly, at this point, I feel like just going with Aigis and using that attack. Guess we could use Power Charge. Why not? Just a little bit of backup plan. Orgia mode activated. Wow. I really should have brought more Mutindi gems, but I think we'll be okay. Let's use a Soma tier and auto attack with our Persona 3 protagonist. This is coming down to the wire. At a certain point, he will just get stronger and stronger, but so far he's not doing insane damage. This Megidolon, if it knocks anyone down. Okay, we all dodged it except for him. That's okay. Use our last Mutindi gem on Akihiko. And heal ourselves up. I think we're going to do it. This is the first time I've tried doing this on hard mode, so I'm very curious if we're going to actually win this or not. Our Tarukaja, actually the enemy's Tarukaja is going to fail. Alright, looks like our buffs are still up, so that's good. Let's use Danse Macabre. I think this is the end of the battle, honestly. Yeah, this is pretty much it. He has, like, no HP left. Just use... oh! Actually, this could be bad. Nope, I think we got this. Zeus will go down after one more attack.
Leave it to me!
And that is how you beat the optional boss of Persona Q. Rather effortlessly, might I add. Risei's farming persona will get a level up. Not nearly as needed, but hey, pretty cool, I guess.
Impressive. I have borne witness to thy power. The bonds thou hast formed are built upon true conviction in thy hearts. Thou standest well strong. The world thou knowest is different from mine own, but our origins are like in nature. I beseech thee to visit my world some bright and shining day. 'Tis a land of odyssey and exploration. In the shade of Yggdrasil, each follows his own path. Battle, death, and glory alike are common in that land. Take hold of the eternal exaltation there for thyself, for thou hast already wrested thy freedom. I shall await thee there.
What was I doing? It felt as if a tremendous power was coursing through me. And this inexpressible sense of fulfillment, the radiance of life that I do not possess. It was a serendipitous moment. This is... I would like to speak with you later regarding this power. Well, I go ahead of you back to the nurse's office. Please don't forget to stop by.
So for those who are curious to why Zeus looks like that and what on earth he is doing here, the guy that worked on the artwork for this game is also the art director for another one of Atlus's main series, which is called Etrian Odyssey. And that was a bit of a reference to those games, since, you know, the tree, and World Tree, and Odyssey, and it's kind of a cool reference, and I actually really liked the design of the whole boss fight, actually.
Thank you for partaking in my request to summon Zeus. Calling down this Zeus was my objective. Ever since we fell to this world, I had been sensing an unusual presence. That is why I set up a lab and went on with my research into the unknown presence.
May I interrupt for a moment? If there was such a strong reading, I think even I would have been able to detect it.
You are absolutely correct, but you are assuming that Zeus had been sealed in this world, when in fact, he had been shut out of it. I didn't realize this myself until I discovered that distortion for the first time in the Velvet Room.
Shut out?
The spheres collected from those distortions are artifacts closely connected to Zeus. By gathering all the spheres, I thought it might be possible to call Zeus into this world. That is why I made those requests to you. I believe you know the rest. I had sensed tremendous power in Zeus's presence from the very beginning. Even if I had chanced upon Zeus, simply handing him to you would be too dangerous. There is a fear that a powerful enough persona can overtake one's ego. Indeed, you saw it happen to me. That is why I had to test to see if you were strong enough to safely call upon Zeus.
I see.
However weak you once were is a thing of the past. By diving into the labyrinth, finding the truth, and carrying out requests, you grew ever stronger. Strong enough that even Zeus himself was forced to acknowledge it. I sense with my own eyes and feel in my bones. People are capable of changing however they wish. Please take this. It is the evidence of a blessing left to me. It's a symbol that's quite fitting for the god Zeus, who loved freedom and women. With this, you will be capable of using Zeus as a persona. And with that, my primary research has happily reached its end. I hope that we may meet again someday. Or so I am led to believe, I should say. Don't worry, though. I will remain the master of this nurse's office. The usual requests and the care of your physical and mental health will go on as normal. Please feel free to come by at any time.
And with that, we've successfully defeated Zeus. And now we confuse him, and Junpei's leveled up, even though he's kind of insignificant at this point in the game. But yes, Zeus, not an impossible encounter, but really, really cool. Heck, you could even go higher level than I did. I just kind of stopped. I didn't have a reason to. Yeah, it kind of worked out for me. And yeah, everyone's going to get a couple levels. But there is still one more optional boss fight left to do in this game. And unfortunately for me, I'm going to have to beat the entire game all over again. on New Game Plus to show that, so it may take a little while. Anyways, that has been this optional boss fight video. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll tune in next time for when we do battle with the ultimate opponents. See you guys in the next episode.